Hi, it's Simon Bone, and I want to actually walk through somebody else's model today because it's a really key model. In Jim Collin's book, Good to Great, he talks about how good companies became great companies. And it's a book that's quoted a lot, but there's a key model in there. He shows it as a three-circle Venn diagram, but I'm going to show it as a triangle. There's a key model in there that he talks about, which is actually really kind of important or critical for business. And so he talks about this concept of the good to great companies, amongst a whole range of other things that they identified over 25 years of research. They have a flywheel. They have the flywheel. The principle of the flywheel is it's a big wheel, a big counterbalance that takes a lot of effort to get it turning, but once it's turning, a small amount of energy keeps it moving. And he talks about the flywheel inside your business, which is a product of a thing he calls the Hedgehog Principle. So one of the things that he identified was the great companies are a bit like the hedgehog. They do one thing and they do it really, really well. The hedgehog does one thing really, really well. It curls into a ball and it points its spikes outwards. And so the fox that comes to try and get the hedgehog is jumping all around the hedgehog trying to get to it, but every angle it comes from, there's spikes. And so the fox gets distracted. It's distracted by lots of different things and it wanders off, and then the hedgehog uncurls and eats ants or whatever hedgehogs eat. And of course the fox comes back, it curls into a ball again, and it can stay like that for a long time, much longer than the attention span of whatever is trying to get to it. And the question is, how many of us in business can stick to the knitting of the business longer than the attention span of, say, our competitors? Because the customer shows up and buys from you 1, 2 or 3 times, they're not really affected by attention span, but you and your competitors are. And so what is it that this flywheel is made of? What are the 3 components? Well, the first one is what he calls passion for the product or service, but really he's talking about desire. And he's talking about desire in 2 ways. There must be an internal desire for what you do. So you and your team and your staff, if you and no one else in your business really cares about what you do, other than the commercial aspect of it, there won't be the energy in it to try and move it into the market and bring it alive. And then of course, there must be an external level of desire for what you do. So these things around the outside of the model, I'm adding to his model, which is the 3 pieces on the inside. If there's not an external desire for what you do, in other words, if the market doesn't want it, clearly you have a problem. So internal and external desire. The second element is what he calls best in the world. So you need to be the best in the world at that thing. Now that's a bit of a challenge. What does that actually mean? I talk about the 5% and the 95%. There's 95% of most products or services that just about everybody does. The trick is, what's your 5% that you do better than anybody else? So I might I might build homes, and there's 95% of building a home, being a builder, that everybody else does. But I might build homes of a specific style for a specific size of home for customers in a very deliberate location. And I can be the best in the world at building that home in that style for people living in that location. So what can you be best in the world at? And then the third aspect is that you need to be able to monetize this. So monetize means 2 things. There needs to be a price that you can sell it for where the market will buy it at a cost that you can deliver it for that allows you to make profit. The monetize aspect is really simple. And so some interesting things happen. If we have something that there's desire for and we can be the best in the world at it, but we can't monetize this, what we've got is a great hobby or gift to the world, maybe, art, etc. If there's something that we have real desire for and we can monetize it, but we can't be the best in the world at it, what we really have here is a commoditized same kind of product. It's not special. We're keen, we're proud on it, and we can monetize it, but we're just like everybody else. If we can be the best in the world in something and monetize it, but there's no passion or desire for it, what we have is work, a job, basically. And really, for this flywheel to keep moving, it needs the energy of the drive and the desire internally and externally. It needs the distinction of being the best in the world at 5% that makes the difference. And it needs the ability to monetize it between price and cost so that it's actually a profitable thing to take to the market. So what's your flywheel? What's the flywheel in your business, and how well articulated are the three sides of this model that came out of 25 years worth of research from Jim Collins and his team? Hunt for your hedgehog principle, put a greater attention span on the rest of your competitors, and see what you can do with it in the marketplace.